Water signs, let's look at the week ahead for you in terms of your career and abundance and your love life and relationships. So it seems to be a cause for celebration this week in your career. Something that you thought might have come to an end actually isn't coming to a conclusion after all. But you may have quite a few fears around this. So I'm going to pull a few more cards and we'll take a closer look. Over in your love life, there is a lot of nostalgia in the air this week for you. It feels like someone is really looking back fondly on the times they spent with you. They may have cast you out in the past, dumped you, left you, but they seem to be wanting to come back this week and actually reverse that situation because they are really just thinking back to the fond times. But there is a real lack of clarity about this. So there might be some kind of just hidden energies in the background here. I'm going to pull more cards to find out more about this. And if this is you wishful thinking and really looking back fondly on someone, you might not be really recollecting all the negative stuff there. You might be deluding yourself in a way. But as I say, I'm going to pull more cards on both of these topics and a third topic as well. Let's start with career. Well, there's certainly a change indicated by the Wheel of Fortune. There could be some kind of lucky break that comes your way, and it has you feeling a lot more hopeful about the future. It's like you've got a whole new plan that you can put into play because of this lucky break. So you might have felt like everything was about to come to an end, and yet you get some kind of reprieve. And not only that, not only did you have the joy and celebration, like woohoo, it's also going to take a lot of stress off your plate with the peace there of the Four of Swords. This is really having some calm around you, some breathing room. So it just feels like your luck has changed in terms of your career or your abundance. Well, it does look like you have a decision to make. Look at this, not only the forked road, like which way do I go, but also the coin toss, heads or tails, making a decision there. So you're weighing things up, and it seems to be about resources. So what you literally have, your cash flow, your money coming in. There is something here, maybe even your physical health. This is like the blood in the tree, of course, the sap that just keeps everything alive. That seems to be the topic here. So let's see what the nature of this decision is and what you need to know about this. Well, it does seem like you have to make some budget cuts of some sort. That might be quite painful as well, but there is a real sense of needing to take steps here to kind of vanquish the enemy. You might have to really make some unpleasant decisions, unpopular decisions, but they are actually going to leave you feeling relieved at the end of this, that you are actually preserving the two upright cups. Rather than grieving over the spilt milk, you are like being a realist here and going, okay, I need to preserve these two cups that are still standing upright. I'm going to let go of the ones that have spilt, and that is very sad. There is a bit of grief here and a bit of pain. There might be some tough decisions to make, no doubt, because of these cards coming out twice, sort of redefining your the sort of moment of truth there to change things up. But it is all about preserving your life force. So keeping these two cups that you do have still upright. It's sort of like cutting your losses is how I would describe this. And yeah, you might feel kind of frozen in indecision and a bit fearful of making the change, but it is actually going to work out in your favor. It's going to give you new hope for a direction forward. Let's grab a couple more cards here. Yeah, look at this. Two cards that say essentially the same thing, a prayer answered. So you might have been like really at your wit's end, and somehow your luck has changed. Now, it means you do still have tough decisions to make, but at least you can make them. You can kind of live to fight another day, as it were, because you now have the wherewithal. We also have the optimism card there, the moon in the 9th house, and that is Sagittarius. That's long-range planning, it's big picture, it can be lucky. So emotionally, I think you'll feel like you've got a lot more breathing room now. And the 9th house is very much associated with religion and spirituality, and a prayer answered. I mean, I get the vibe that these cards are saying the same thing. This is like, whoo, I get the chance to make my tough decisions and find some peace here and be able to set a new course. That something with the star, you know, you're looking to the stars, the broader horizons, and setting a new path. And it gives you hope for the future. So that is, it's very mixed feelings I'm getting from this, but it is ultimately to your benefit here. And there is some luck, some sort of stroke of luck around you in your abundance, in your work life this week or in the very near future. Now, looking at your love life or your current relationship, there may be some element there of, yes, nostalgia, but are you seeing the full picture? So let's take a closer look. Well, there's certainly the promise or the hope for this emotional fulfillment, 10 of Cups. This is a rainbow and a happy couple with kids, happily ever after. And it does seem to be resolving some past conflict with the 5 of Swords in reverse. So again, it's like it is some past pain, some past breakup, somebody coming back around to reverse things. But I'm still curious about the Ace of Swords in reverse here. Well, these picture cards tell quite an interesting story here. This is your advice to stay quite detached and aloof, but while also being compassionate. Water carrier there is sort of being very humane, like hearing somebody out if they, you know, weren't toxic, violent, hideous, which I'm picking up. That's not the energy I'm picking up around this at all. So it is about, again, being a bit detached. Friendship vibes I always get from Aquarius. So sort of humane compassion, but without getting actually involved emotionally. Stay detached. Be the cool cat. Because there is more to this situation than meets the eye. This person may be presenting a face that isn't actually accurate about where they are at. They might be coming in as if they're all bubbly and happy. In fact, they might be depressed and they want to sort of latch onto you for comfort and stability. You just don't know what's going on behind the scenes if you leap straight in. So we have the backpacker card in reverse. So this is saying don't go off without a map, without knowing exactly where you're going. It's about doing your homework in this situation. So taking it slow, staying detached, not just rushing in and go, hey, let's see where this takes us. No, that's not the way. What we want to do is look for stability. So something firm. It's not necessarily money. This is about the willingness to build something lasting. And it's evaluating, what are they offering to build? Is it just, you know, are they offering to, do they want to come in and take stability? Do they want to latch on to me? Or are they actually bringing something that they want, you know, they want to build something with me? That's the vibe to take into this situation. And it may well work out perfectly. It may well be fine, but there's just something there that isn't quite obvious. And now to the third topic for the week. The message for all signs this week is about 8th house issues, which is transformation on a really deep level. And Saturn showing up there, indicating that the lessons about this or the challenges may be on the tough side, but any challenges you are facing is for your ultimate growth and transformation. This is kind of phoenix-like energy where you go through the fire and then come out completely changed for the better. And what I was reminded about when that message came through was to treat yourself really gently through this. Don't beat yourself up about what you believe to be bad karma coming your way, or things that you've brought upon yourself and you're like, why am I so stupid? Anything that you are thinking along those lines. Treat yourself like a little puppy that is still being toilet trained, and it knows what it should do, and sometimes its biology just takes over, and there's really no point in whipping or beating that little puppy. Treat it gently, and treat yourself in the same way on your spiritual journey as best you can. But let's see what the cards also want to say this week about your deep transformation that may be occurring right now. Well, this is a time for you to let down your barriers that you might have really put up, defense mechanisms that might be very well entrenched, because it's time to start looking to the future with a much more optimistic view. And this message is coming through week after week, optimism and having a sort of more expansive view of what's possible for you is this repeating message. And we've got the Chariot. These two cards together actually indicate foreign travel or travel even a short distance, but Chariot is also things that happen really quickly because your intentions, your conscious and subconscious mind, your yin and your yang are all focused on moving forward. They're working in concert. And that is when you clean up your psyche there to get rid of any kind of subconscious drives. That's when you can start moving forward at quite a pace. So it is time to relax your boundaries a little bit. Let's see what else the universe has to say about that this week. Yeah, look, you are really more grounded now. You feel more connected, and so this is part of letting down your energetic boundaries too, and actually feeling not like an island, but as though you are part of something much larger. And of course you are. What are the words on this card? We are nature. Becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. Beautiful. And look, you're almost there. So the worst is over. You may have been going through, a quite intense form of transformation, but be gentle to yourself. It is nearly done, and it is time to actually look forward with a lot more optimism to the future. So I hope that helped you, my darlings. If you'd like your own personal reading, go to my website, abundancelovejoy.com. Meanwhile, this is Sarah wishing you much abundance, love and joy for the week ahead and beyond.